Alright, everybody. Today I wanted to make like a really sort of important video because I get this question asked a lot, say if I'm streaming or like in a video premiere or in the comments. I just get asked this a lot, and it's whether which is better. Is it key damage or is it melee damage? Is what people want to know. Now, right here, these are my stats. I'm a melee damage build. No, that doesn't answer your question, because I am entitled to an opinion, and this is my, uh, sort of build that I built. That doesn't mean that melee is just better, just because I use melee, no. I can use key damage as well. I've played this game for multiple years. I've seen, like, nerfs or buffs that have happened to moves. I've seen which moves are good, which aren't. I know how to use most of the moves in the game, so I'll be telling you here. You can listen to my opinion, which is backed up by facts. You can listen to that and you can trust that. At least I hope you can. That's your decision whether you can or not. So I'll start with a few basic things here. Now, one, I am a melee build, like I said, so melee damage moves are probably going to do a little more damage than key damage moves, depending on the moves, obviously. So just keep that in mind, and I'll be showing damage, but where are you going? I'll be showing damage, but like I'll be saying which one does more damage in total, like let alone my stat build. So that won't be a problem really. I have like a good sort of understanding of how much damage each move does. So let's get into it then. Key or melee, which one is better? So you go to your skill tab, and you can see key attacks and melee attacks. Now, it's better to have one or the other, because then you could put a lot of stats into just one point. Like how I have it. If I put stats into both key and melee, then I would have to sacrifice some of my other stats that I have up here that I put in the health max or key max. So it is better to have one or the other. Now, when it comes to some melee moves like Power Impact, they deal key damage even though they're under the melee tab, is because they work as a melee move, but they do key damage. So someone with the same stats as me, but swap the key damage and melee damage, their Power Impact is going to do more damage, basically. Get dodged. So that's just an example, and I'll be saying which ones do melee and which do key. So first thing when you're considering which one is better is there's a few categories. There's combos, there's catching people who are like running away, like how easy it is to hit your moves. And then just overall damage and how effective they are when you're using them. So the first move that I'd like to use it as an example here is going to be, I already have it here, Justice Combination. Now, Justice Combination is a common melee move. People who are melee builds use it quite a bit. And you can see why here. Okay, this dude is switched to his Android just to debate me. Let me go blue real quick. Let me go blue real quick. Here, I'll use SSJ4 actually, just to show the damage. Can you stop trying to kill me, boy? Here, this is the damage. Okay, your Android is way too tanky. Can you go on your human? Like, it's not setting a good example here. Alright, here are my stats in SSJ4, just if you were wondering. I have pretty decent damage. Nothing too crazy, but pretty decent. Now, I'll be showing you Justice Combination versus a move like... Here, let me find a... I don't have a script for this video, by the way, so... It's just my game knowledge here. Just a move that's similar to Justice Combination. We'll just go with a normal Kamehameha, really. Pretty comparable in damage, I'd say. Alright, go base. Alright, so you can see here, Justice Combination does about that much damage to his base. So, you know, it brought him... Well, it didn't take him out of green, but it did some damage. Now keep in mind, he's really tanky. Like, his stat build is like health, really. Like, that's a good bit of it. Now, Kamehameha, fully charged. Clearly, it did a lot more damage. 2 or 3 times the damage. Now, Kamehameha is a key move, obviously, in melee, or Justice combination is melee. So you could see there the damage, and even though I have more melee damage, the Kamehameha did more damage. Now, the reason why Kamehameha isn't a good move is because start running around, Ramon. Just start running around me. There you go. There's your weakness to the Kamehameha. Now, say you're doing that and someone comes up and they could hit you easily. They could murder grenade you. They could do that, you know. So, that failed. But you could see that it's hard to hit somebody that's running around you. Especially like at higher levels. For lower, no, just run around me. For lower levels, it's like a decent move. But you see there, I somehow caught him. He sort of lagged into my move. Like it's really hard. And keep in mind he's in base. If he formed up, he'd be a lot faster. He'd be running around me, you know. So it's hard to hit the move really. So the reason why I think Kamehameha is a good move is because when you're using it against NPCs, it can help like push them back. So I'm gonna go over to an NPC right now that has good key resistance just so they don't die. I'm gonna go to the evil Super Saiyans. So right over here, you can see, here they are. So the evil Super Saiyans, I hit them. I do pretty good damage, but say I run away, you know, because they're hitting me. I'm a low level. Just for example, I can use the Kamehameha. It keeps them back. I could use it again. It keeps them back. They can't hit me, which is a good strategy. If you're a low level and you're struggling against something, that's a great strategy to do. Let me just kill this guy off. And you know, the Kamehameha, that's what it's good for, really. It's not as much as for PvP, but it's good for PvE. So back to the question. I forgot to mention at the start, but I'm gonna consider two categories as well, is PvE and PvP when you're doing quests and when you're facing players. Now, let me just get PvE out of the way, because that's an easier question to answer. Is that, what is better, key or melee? Melee damage is probably better. And the reason I say that is because most of the NPCs, especially on Earth, do not take key damage very well. Or they take it well, is what I meant to say. Is they take key damage well. For example, the Yeti. The Yeti takes almost no key damage. And you could see my stats here, they're really high. Like, for Earth NPCs, they're high. So I go over here, I go to the Yeti, let me break it with a Big Bang attack real quick. So I'm gonna use Kamehameha on this Yeti, it's gonna do nothing. Watch. Fully charged. It did absolutely nothing, but I go for a melee move, and look at that damage. Look at that damage from Ramon as well, like, he takes melee damage. Now, that's not the only NPC that does it. Like I said, the evil Super Saiyans, they take, pretty sure they're key resistant. Now, you could see here against the Universal Champion, pretty sure he's, like, neutral. No, actually. Once again, he's key resistant. And it's the same with the, Android 17 at least is pretty key resistant. I know that. 18, I'm pretty sure, is neutral. But you could see here, like, can you stop? But, yeah, most of the NPCs on Earth, especially, are, key resistant. Now, if you need more examples in other worlds, Namek, most of the NPCs there are neutral. Space, most of them are neutral, but they're stronger, obviously. Now, a good example is in Future, the Mysterious Men. They can tank key damage easily. Like, red spamming Android can't do anything if they're using key moves. So, the simple answer is for PvE, for grinding, for leveling up, which is better. Melee damage in most scenarios. Now, key isn't useless. Another reason I say melee is that, for for moves like the Kamehameha, you know, they work well. And for, you know, like I showed before, like, Ramon, pretend you're an NPC, just like slowly walk towards me. Like, I can keep them away just by doing this. The NPCs aren't smart. And that still does good damage. Base damage, the Kamehameha does more damage than Justice Combination, which is a really strong melee move. One of the strongest. So, Kamehameha is going to do more damage than, say, Meteor Crash. I use Meteor Crash, go base when you can. Fully charged Kamehameha. You saw how much damage a Meteor Crash does. Now look at the Kamehameha. That's a lot more damage. Phil Swift here. Now that's a lot of damage, yeah, like, and it's like that with a few key moves, really. Now, let me get another key move out. Crusher Ball, remember, I'm a melee damage build. He blocked it. Okay. Murder Grenade, don't block it. You can see here. That's good damage, that's more than Justice Combination. And with Murder Grenade, that freezes you. So I use it, he's frozen there. I can go in and use a Meteor Crash, which is something I'll get into. You're mixing key with melee. So Crusher Ball here, go base. You can see the damage. That's pretty decent damage, you know, just for a Crusher Ball. So the key moves sort of like, I don't know, for PvP or a PvE, I'm gonna say melee is better. And one more reason that melee is better is that most the you know those quests that are like kill 16 Frieza soldiers? Now, if you have someone helping you, say an android with reds, or just an android in general, or a higher level person, just a friend, you know, a casual player, just imagine a casual player and then a casual player's friend, which is also a casual player. The low level wants help from his higher level friend. Therefore, he asks him to help him with Frieza. You know, it's easy to kill Frieza, because that's one NPC. So, if you're helping someone, if I'm helping someone, I would rather kill one NPC, one strong NPC, than 16 weak NPCs. Now, those weak NPCs, you can use melee damage and beat them pretty easily. So, that's another reason, really, is that for the strong NPCs that you're gonna have to go in and punch, like Frieza, and he just kills you instantly. Like, you might say that key damage would be better for him, so that you don't have to take damage. But if you're getting a helper, for example, then melee damage is better overall, because when you go do your solo quests, then obviously the NPCs are just gonna be easier. What are you on? Bruh, go away. No, I'm not helping you. What level are you? 490. Go away. But back to what I was saying. So, for PvE, I'd say overall melee damage is better. There are some instances where key damage is better, like the Turn Into Power, for example. That's a good instance where key damage is better. In some cases at least. Like some strategies, key damage is better, some melee is better. But for overall, I'd say PvE-wise, melee damage is probably better. At least from Earth to Future in Secret World. Now, beyond that, key damage is probably better. But, you know, that's just opinion based. So next is PvP. Now, for PvP, I'm gonna just... I might make a part 2 to this, where I address it even more. But for PvP, it's really close, and I'd say, honestly, there isn't really a better... Because, well, a melee damage person could mess you up if they're good with that moveset. And a key damage person could mess you up if they're good with that moveset. Now, there's people that are, like me, for example. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to just have an ego over here, but I'm just saying, you know, people regard me as a good player in this game. I'm a melee damage, so with melee damage moves, as long as I'm using a moveset, for example, that I'm comfortable with, let me just show you. A moveset like this, for example, I'm comfortable with this moveset. So, I'm gonna be good with that moveset. My stat build is good for this moveset. Now a good key damage player like, Everlasting Legend, Zeus, you know, he's a really good key damage player. Not just a key damage player, obviously. He's a good melee as well, if he wanted to be. And same for me, I could be a good key damage player if I were playing with key damage. But I'm just using it as an example here. He's really good key damage, and I'm pretty sure Spider-Man is also key damage. And he's like one of the best players in the entire game. Like, he's amazing. He shits on me, you know? He's better than me, so it just depends on like how you use the moveset. um it's whatever you're most comfortable with, really, for PvP. I'll make a part 2 going into even more detail than that, but the short answer for PvP, which is better, is whichever one you're more comfortable with, whichever one you like more. That's it, really. Now for one more thing I'll go into is like for key versus melee. If you like to run around a lot, then a moveset like let me build one real quick. Just a moveset like this, for example. Let me see if there's anything else I could do here. Just a moveset like this, for example, would be good because you're running around a lot. You throw your Crusher Ball. You use Divine Lasso. Come here, Ramon. Where are you literally flying away every few seconds? Stop, noob. Look. So, Divine Lasso, you're running around, you use it, you use your Crusher Ball. You can use Murder Grenade, and then you go and catch them. It's just like a playstyle like this, then key damage is gonna be really good for you. But mixing it as well could also be good. Like, say, this is what I do sometimes, is I'll run like a melee moveset like this. Can you stop? I'll run a melee, like a mostly melee moveset like this with some key moves, like Finish Breaker, Crusher Ball maybe sometimes. So most of the time I'd have After Image there, and then Murder Grenade. So, this is what I'll do, is that you could do Finish Breaker to like stun them, and then After Image, they're stunned, you're punching so they get even more stun, and then you can use Meteor Crash, or your melee combo move here, which is for me a Spirit Bomb Sword. Let me go blue so I could show it off better, but yeah, you can mix the two like inputs, the two damages, and it's still good. Like, this is one of my infamous combos here, is I'll do that. The Spirit Bomb Sword keeps them in place for the Murder Grenade, and then after you throw the Murder Grenade, the Meteor Crash pushes them into the Murder Grenade, dealing even more damage. So, come here. No, Ramon, come here. So, this is what I meant before. It's like, it's really, it's hard sometimes, like, the moves don't go in as well, but let me wait for the Finish Breaker cooldown. Here's like that. I don't know if Finish Break or if After Image Strike was even used there, but pretend it was, okay? Like, like After Image Strike gets you closer, and then you go for Spirit Bomb Sword. I'm out of touch right now, if you couldn't tell. I haven't been practicing. I haven't been keeping up with my PvP, but yeah, like that's a combo that a lot of like high tier PvP players use, like Spider-Man, Zay, Supremo. I don't think Supremo uses it, but he has in the past. I think, at least, I don't know, but I know Spider-Man and Zay do that, and they're some of the best players. So yeah, it's weird. Now the final thing I'll talk about here is that key damage moves tend to do more than melee damage moves do. Like, even if you're a melee player. So here's a good example. Justice Combination. Look at how much damage that... Here, let me go Super Saiyan 4 so it's easier to see. Go base, noob. Look. So you can see the damage there. And then take that versus power impact here. And it's like about the same, only power impact did more. Even though I'm a melee damage build, as you can see here. Now for Raffle Charge, it's the same thing. This might be hard to tell, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. But Raffle Charge does more damage than Super Rush does. And Raffle Charge is supposed to be a sort of... Raffle Charge is supposed to... You could see clearly there that Justice Combination did less damage. But Raffle Charge is a key damage move under the melee tab, just like Power Impact. It's the same sort of thing. Raffle Charge does more damage than Super Rush. Even though I'm a melee damage build and Super Rush should technically do more. Because it's a melee damage move. But that's not the case. So, if you're going for like a mixed sort of thing, with like mixed melee damage, key damage, I would say do more melee damage, because those moves will need it more. Say a combo, like, just like, for this, for example, you're doing Murder Grenade, Justice Combination. Murder Grenade is already powerful as it is. Power Impact is already powerful as it is. Melee moves need some points before they can become as powerful. So, if you're gonna go for like a mixed moveset, like, kinda like mine really. Here, I'll pull it out one more time, just to show you. Like this right here, I have 2 key moves, sometimes I'll add Crusher Ball in. But, you know, so it's like a mixed sort of thing. It's mostly melee. So, if you're doing something like this, then I'd say doing more melee damage points would be better. That's it for this. I don't want it to be a 30-minute video. It should have been less than 20 minutes if I had planned it out a little more and made a script for it, but I didn't, because I'm a moron and I'm a bad YouTuber. But you know, that's your answer really. Those are your answers. Is that for PvE it's mostly melee with some key damage. They're about equal always. It just, the overall answer is that it's completely your preference. I might go in more detail looking at a lot more moves than what I did to see, but that's just how it is, you know. Whatever you prefer more is what you're gonna be better with. So back when I used to do like teachings, I would like help people play, like help people get better. I would try to give them a key damage moveset, like that might be better than some of the melee movesets they might be using, but they would do better with the melee movesets because that's just how they are. They like to play like that. So just sort of find your niche, find what you like, experiment with it a little bit. Ranked is an amazing place to experiment movesets. That's how I did it, is I was able to experiment movesets in ranked. What are all these randoms doing here? I don't know any of these people. Am I a boomer? Look at all these randoms. Am I a boomer, or are they all randoms? I know a couple of them, obviously, but I don't know, man. I'm a boomer, I guess. Final stand boomer. But yeah, just test out what movesets you like, see what works for you. And that's it really. I'm gonna end the video there. There's your answer, and I hope it helped you. So I'll see you guys later.